Hello Baby Gangstas, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're picking up exactly where we left off, part 4 of this trial. It feels like we're barreling towards the end of this stage. We just caught out these two boys who were fighting in the stands. I've lost so much respect for Gregson as this trial has gone on. I know he's probably going to redeem himself, but like it's a bit much. Something wrong, sunshine? You two were fighting in the middle of the court. That should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skulkin.
Barmy, this dude's a bit of a hooligan, ain't he?
What was going on just now?
You saw him. He grabbed me whistle. What a blazes, he said. Didn't you mention a third gun when we got down to the station?
Why didn't you?
'Cause we didn't know nothing about it. All that flaming people on the door.
Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you?
God blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, these gives me the willies.
That was strange. The inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone. True, very true. No, that wasn't like Gregsy at all. He's normally all sweetness and light no matter what I say to him. Yes, well, I think you might be a special case, Iris. Yeah, very much so. Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character. Fish and chips, man. Fish and chips. So good. My lord? Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. I have the results of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord. Ah, the blood. On the accused's overcoat. Oh, God. Thank you, officer. Well, very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel? No, my lord. Oh, God, Gina. Gina. Well, there you have it. The report, please, Inspector. Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Lee General Astray. From the extent of the signs, it would appear that they were a result of splattering following a gunshot wound. End of report. Goodness me. Oh, the Skulkenberg is just gone again? See? What did I tell you? Shut up, liar McLiar face. Look at you. You're lying so hard that like 2 telephone wires are on fire.
Objection.
Or your tongue is stuck to a telephone wire. I forget what it is. Pants are on fire, isn't it? No, the blood in the coat is not Mr. Windybanks. What makes you say that, counsel? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windybanks, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Wason Milverton. So the blood in the overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection.
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Well, let's try it out with you. Sorry? 2 months ago in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for Mr. McGilded's innocence? Yes, that's how jobs work. That's how I worked my job. I was doing my job. Believe it or not, some people have to do their job without throwing wine glasses and wine bottles into the goddamn gallery. And yet, now the man is dead. You brand him as a murderer? Your conduct shatters any thread of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country. So do you just like have to keep the same opinion for the rest of your life? Is that how it works? Is that how respect works? But that was... I call it a bally disgrace. Treachery is that's what it is. Shut your mouth, okay? Be quiet, you.
How to determine whether blood on the coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help to answer that problem up about. It can't be done.
But we use Mr. Sean's specially formulated chemicals.
Mr. Soames is a detective, not a chemist.
Would you put such fate in chemical form devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer? It's so different, you fool.
I held up Prosky to starving boy and he ran away crying.
Herlock Sholmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all. How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed. Okay, so far this guy has lied. This guy lied about a gun wound. He was there. The witness saw him there, and now he's saying victory is sweet indeed. He also told one of the jury members to shut up. Okay, so I think at this point it's proved. Yeah, that he's You need to go away from me now with this whole oh my god, I'm so angry.
How'd you arrive at such a conclusion, sir?
As the witness said, the accused's coat was spattered with blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony saw and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case.
Okay, I am allowed to, when the truth comes out, I'm allowed to pull all of your hair. Every one of you line up and I get to pull your hair and give you like a burn on your arm and pinch your upper arm. That's what's allowed to happen now. That's what's allowed to happen. My lord.
Been a long battle this one, but this old war has something to say now, if you please.
Mr. Foreman?
As of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. Ready, men? All for one now.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
You know what's really funny about this? That them saying guilty is that I'm gonna pinch their arms, all of them.
Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
No. Are you happy with this, Van Zieks? You happy?
The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness testimony.
If I was there, I'd be like, are you all the lies out of this person?
Here's to any attempt you make at unpicking the jurors' decisions being equally successful.
I am so mad. I was unraveling me so fast. How very distressing to be held in such low esteem. Wait. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruto? What do you want about bailiff?
You deliver the report now. That will be all. Thank you.
It occurs to me to some regularity, Mr. Naruto, that scientific truths are determined by not by science, but by none other than the human mind. What is wrong with you?
Am I going mad?
Wait, no. Oh my god! It's Sherlock. No. No.
What? What is the meaning of this?
No.
Order, order, order.
What business do you have here, detective? Last I heard you were recuperating in the hospital. What do you mean, what business does he have here? He was being shot. He was shot on the site of the crime. He has more business to be here than anyone else. Oh my god, it's so good to see him. As well I would be, had I not been set upon an errand.
What errand?
Hurley, it's really you. You're awake at last.
Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies.
Now, my lord, if you will humor me. He's a full-on witness. Like, if he's not questioned, I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. It's like he has to be.
I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind to spare us some time?
What say you to this, Lord Van Zieks?
This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already.
Exactly, having spent so long already, we don't want to go waste any more precious time.
You let people lie for like 5 hours straight. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes. Exactly, Van Zieks. Yeah, you're right, Van Zieks. Well done, Van Zieks. We like ya.
Very well then, counsel, you have 5 minutes.
My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. It's so good to see you, man. It's so good. Are you alright now? Am I alright? Sorry? I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me should I pass out. Let's make the decision as short as possible. Hurley,
This place is full of idiots. I agree. None can see I want to feel chemical blood analysis. I agree. Look how supportive she is as well. Ah, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigation. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community, an oversight on my part. Right. Modesty? Surely not. I think he's modest around, her because, like, she knows him so well at this stage, and also, like, she loves him so much that he doesn't really need to, to talk himself up. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. Oh, wait a second. Is that... It reminds me so much of Susato. What's that? A lavender Furoshiki wrapping? Yes, it is Susato! From Miss Susato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew also good music. She knew that the couple would attempt to escape justice by means of both devious and underhand. And that you, Mr. Naruto, fighting fairly as you are, wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Susato-san? Whatever could it be? Probably crayons. Wait. We've seen this before, haven't we? It's the machine I made. Ah. I remember this. For cat flaps. What? It just makes a cat flap in the door? Look, I use this, my latest invention. What is that? I call it the cat flapomat. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. Wait. What's Susie up to? Mr. Soto muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Didn't she say something like that? Didn't she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Whatever she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? That night, when you left your window bank in pursuit of the thieves, Mr. Zotta made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, dear fellow. Not at all cryptic, then. Susato-san used this cat flapper-mat that night, but why? The cat flapper-mat has been entered into the court record. Okay, calm. Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already? I'm grateful to you for affording us this brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now will be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruto? Yes. The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me? I need to be careful here. If I make the wrong move, I'll try to end badly. My lord, the defense requests... Okay, here's the thing. First of all, did they add this to the court record? They did. Okay, we have to examine this first of all. In some way. Oh, I guess we just examine it like this. Oh my god. Phew. Those vicious teeth look like they can rip through almost anything. They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed just for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so I can get through any kind of wood in the door in no time at all. And what are the two parts at the top there? Those for attaching hinges to the section of the door that gets cut out. Right, of course. Nothing can match this machine for power. It can make mincemeat of even the toughest of doors. It sounds so charming and friendly when you say it, what it's for, but it feels like the reality of the cat Flap-O-Mat is that it's a grim weapon for door destruction. Wagahai is so adorable, there's nothing I wouldn't do for him, even develop deadly weapons. So, the reason why I'm thinking we go with option 2 here is because with summation examination, I don't think is going to do much here. Because it's not like they're going, like, and again, he's saying it's futile because, again, it's not like we're going to be able to be like, because we can't present further evidence during summation examination. We only go what we already have, and they're not going to believe anything we have to do with the bloodstains. For cross-examination, we just got a new piece of evidence. We could present those new pieces of evidence. And I think it's going to have something to do with the door. Further cross-examination.
Objection.
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Objection.
The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness. We are to continue with an existing witness. What? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. Oh, because they added new evidence, we can do another cross-examination, is that it? Absolutely no objection, counsel. No, my lord. Is that why? If everyone asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon, the court is obliged to allow it. Oh, my handsome boy. It's not absurd. It makes sense. It actually makes perfect sense to me. I would remind those present in my court, this is my courtroom. I concur the defense is entirely within its rights to request a continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness' testimony and but one piece of evidence to present. If following that situation remains unchanged, I shall move to an adjudication. Is that clear, counsels? You will not press a witness any further. My lord. Yes, my lord. A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Miss Naruto, it's high time I fell in a dead faint. No! I leave this in your capable hands. Oh no. Mr. Sholmes! Someone help him! Help him now. So obviously it's gonna be the cat Flap-O-Mat is gonna be the piece of evidence we're gonna be presenting. To stand and so insecutely before the court in a state of such a high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike him out when he's down, why don't you? Are you fully prepared? Oh my god, that breathing. I could feel that. I could feel that. Yes. One statement, one piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Sholmes down or Iris. And I won't waste this final chance that Suzato has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial. Whew. Very well, then, under the terms I've outlined, you may resume the cross-examination. Here we go. So we can only do one. We can only present one piece of evidence on one statement. So we have to choose the statement here. The moment of the shooting again. While the ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windybank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused in the black coat shot the man in the back as I was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood spatter over the wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. So, do we present the there's two statements we could present there on that talked about the people. Let's clear what piece of evidence it should be. How in the world is Susie managed to sneak off this without me noticing, and to use it in the pawnbrokery? Yes, at least that's what Mr. Shome said. It was only gone for the place about 5 minutes when I went after Skulkin Brothers. What possible reason could Susato have had to use this Irish contraption at that time? Could it be that what she did with the cat, flapper man, completely changes one of the key premises? And wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I need to see something because then we're looking before the. Hold up a second. Oh no! How did I not notice that before? How did I not notice that before? Oh my god, he cut a hole in the door. I have it. It's okay, I have it. Okay, so I guess 3 or 6, because he talks about the people, is probably the best one. So let's go here. So number 3. My dude.
Objection.
My dude. How did I not notice that? I didn't notice that before. I should have checked it.
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Counsel?
Oh, it's my cat flapping mat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of the room. And it cuts through any door you can think of. New little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come in and to go as they please without... I'm sure we can all work out that for ourselves. I agree first. First time I ever agree with Graydon. I agree. But the cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there's no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door. There is. Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand. Perhaps it would help if I described the function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon. A peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windybag had taken place.
That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was your Japanese assistant, and Mr. Sholmes.
Yes, and 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door, and I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom.
This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say?
Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake? Yes, how could you?
What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean.
Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole to look through.
Objection.
No objections.
So are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door?
Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device. Susato saved the day?
Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions? That's the most serious act of vandalism.
For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in a few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue Skulkin Brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes.
Riddled with... Explain yourself, counsel.
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the people. Yes, that filthy goat shooting the man in the back. However, if at that time of the incident, that people did not exist yet in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim you have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. Yeah? Straight up lies.
Order. Is there any credence to this?
Yes. Hold on a second. Let me present some evidence. None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly. This is just some cheap trick designed to discredit me.
I'm afraid not, sir.
What's this? Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door?
Oh yes, I designed to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors.
It's absurd. I don't believe it for a second.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Waggy, Cooey, time for dinner.
She vandalized the courtroom too?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well,
Young lady, it's the Old Bailey.
Yes, they do. Why does that make a cat flap in the oak paneling with the Old Bailey? They do, apparently.
I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean the people that stole the Willy Bags was made by your machine.
And there's no way you can prove that it was.
no, but it's easy.
What?
The cat flaps my cat flap I created are all the fixed size. And the dimensions of the people of the Willy Banks are an exact match.
Huh.
Hehe, old Silky's lost for words.
Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. And now it's my learned student's friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel. I believe your judicious decision has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty establishing all the facts. For the sake of an argument, let's assume the people dimensions are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the people cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. I have some proof, buddy. I have some good old proof.
What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zieks?
It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the people was created after the incident using this device. But now the perpetrator has returned to her native land. She cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof.
We have proof!
And as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the people was made, my learned friend claims amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation.
No, we have proof! I have proof! The picture of Gina!
Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zieks. Well, counsel?
Don't give up now, Runo. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through.
I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Suzaru-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world, true.
Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Proof that the people on the doorways Willy Bag Storm was created after the event and not before.
Take that!
What are you? What are me? Who knows?
A print from the detective's infernal camera again? My judicial assistant, Miss Suzaru Mikutaba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had necessary proof.
And the necessary proof is a photographic print, counsel?
This print shows a scene in the shop of moments after the defendant entered the premises. Agreed. And also shows the accused mercilessly wielded a gun in the direction of the defense's broker. But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of people of any description.
Yep. Mr. Graydon, you couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done, because at the time it happened, there was no people in the door. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies.
Order! I'm satisfied the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt.
This witness testimony is entirely fallish. Oh, really? You don't even believe in that now? That's not the only thing we know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with a crime scene. Oh, come on. But more importantly,
Good lord, there's more Van Zieks?
the defense may have established a reprehensible instance of but that is no proof that this man is victim. Why would he have lied about the door then? Why would he have lied about it? Why would he have done that? Oh yeah, lift your head up, buddy. Lift your head up. Good job there.
I was there at the scene, it's true. And I was shot in the arm, it's true. But that's all. Oh, his hair is even destroyed now, look. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here. Of course you are. Of course you are, sir. I don't believe this. But they're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he's the culprit. Still, he can't work his way out of this one now. I just realized something. Insane. The people didn't exist. It wasn't there when Graydon... It was there when Graydon was... Wait. Hold on. How would Graydon know about the bloodstains on the jacket? If the people wasn't there and... Does that make sense? How could he have known about the bloodstains on the jacket? That would prove that the bloodstains are old. Because he would have seen them on the jacket beforehand, not afterwards, right? Right? Or maybe I don't know. You know what they say? There's no point in locking the cat's door. Oh, I keep skipping dialogue by accident, guys. Isn't that right, Bruno? As Shirley always says. One lie begets another. No, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories. Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. Okay, the jacket. The jacket, right? Because how would you have known? He saw the bloodstains beforehand. Right? I'm confusing myself. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statements.
Objection!
This is provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. They show that Mr. Graydon had no knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about. Namely, the third gun, the people. Well, the people, yes, is right too, because we could say that there's no way he could have known about the people. Right? But the bloodstains in the coat, to me makes much more sense, and I actually like them to explain it to me too, because, I have an idea of this. He clearly saw the bloodstains beforehand and was like, I don't know, yeah. The bloodstains that were present on Mr. Stray's coat. That's right. The victim's blood splattered all over when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously because I saw her do it through the peephole in the... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The point is that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the people in the storeroom door? Wait, he wasn't even there afterwards either. He wasn't even... He didn't show up afterwards, did he not? Has the cat got your tongue, witness? Oh, Judge, that was a good one. The people in the door was made after the incident. Yes, he didn't even show up afterwards. And once I returned to the shop having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been in the Windy Banks constantly carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full of pawned articles and my lads had to go thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to have officers working around the clock in shifts so we get through it all.
And that consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop.
Yep.
Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
No objections. And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place to the people in the door.
How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks?
Speak, Inspector.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put on my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony if it's all the same to you.
Oh, Gregsy, did you tell him about it? Did you tell him about it?
It's not all the same to me, Inspector, not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon.
No, Gregsy.
Oh, God. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that people. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about by someone else.
Objection!
Stop there, my learned friend. You realize I trust that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Yes, but the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claimed to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular who we have, there's really only one person it could be. It was Gregsy, wasn't it?
Who was the person in question, counsel?
Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony?
Take that!
The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson.
Me?
Objection!
Stop objecting when you have nothing to object about. You better have some proofs to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we've only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today.
Indeed. Preparations for this testimony were made with a great urgency during the hours of long recess. While the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here in the communication station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have no idea. No inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that until such a time he was summoned?
Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. He would have to defend himself against the accusations that he was the third intruder. He was suggesting that the court, that it was while this trial was in progress they received the information. So he could commit perjury in order to save his skin. Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away details of investigation to this fella? I was summoned to his lordship's chamber during the recess in any case. Had you forgotten that? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery.
Which means the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after the proceedings resumed, following the recess. Since then, they've been in full view of the stand, whereas
they were discussing stuff together, you fool! They were talking to each other. I'm gonna break my controller right now. Look at this. I would never break my controller. I'm not one of those people.
I'll just remember something, Bruno. What is it, Iris? There's one time before, wasn't there? I think it's when Ginny was testifying. Oh yes, now you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve Mr. McGilda's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it. It was during the testimony. Yeah, we remember this. Yeah, for sure. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seem to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then.
You little toe rag, you're making it all up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of the deal of some kind, then it started to make more sense.
What deal, counsel?
I wonder if perhaps in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector.
I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that if found to be true, striking due any kind of witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance. Well,
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nipponese student's speciality. I don't do that. But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim. Evidence? That what you're proposing that the inspector demanded the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal. Did he want... Then logically there's only one thing you could have asked for. That must be it. The only thing that makes sense in this trial is either the Hound of Baskerville thing or the... But then he didn't have that, so it had to be the music box or the music box disc. Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
I must press you for an answer now, counsel. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with the witness?
I'm gonna say the music box disc because, like, I think that's the only thing it could be. Like, what else would he want? And maybe he wanted this because he wanted to, like, make his own, like, sting or what? Yeah, that's what I'm presenting. Inspector Gregson, besides this murder, it is not true that you've been working on another very important case.
What? What are you getting now, sunshine?
Is it possible that this other top secret case is what alluded to us in the newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice?
How the bleeding nor could you?
We discovered during the course of this trial that music box deposited Winnie bags by Mangus McGilded, a special music box designed to play 2 discs all at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were McGilded's possessions are the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case. I did not expect to lose so much respect for Gregson. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was actually very good at his job. And you might remember I saw him as kind of like this, like an actual, like... Yeah, we had our issues with each other, but I feel like he was actually like a great counterpart to Sholmes. When we met you at Windyback, you said this.
I'm gonna make a deal with him. I'll be taking whatever's McGiller's down to the yard, thank you very much.
Oh, and he was like, it's property of Scotland Yard. Remember, he's like, it's property of us. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, that is. Mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to Mr. McGill has been taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of the government secrets.
My orders were, recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it in the QT. Strictly.
Hush, hush. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as an evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information.
Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't that sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all.
The music is fantastic here as well. Inspector Shirley.
I'm sure, don't call me Shirley, please.
Surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music boxes,
you did indeed reveal confidential details of this crime to the scene to the witness. To aid and abet this man giving false testimony.
There's no other way Mr. Graydon could have known the existence of these people. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. I don't think body language is admissible in court. I don't think it ever has been. But like, if it was, they'd be done.
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is as we speak, here in this very courtroom.
Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that?
Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective.
What?
What's that supposed to mean, eh?
As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly he would not have accepted the gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand.
Good gracious, then. You mean to say
Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession?
he has the second disc?
Oh my god, it's on him! What? We have the 2 discs here!
In defense demands that the inspector is searched at once.
Definitely. They could only have struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before, and Gregsy hasn't moved from the witness stand since.
Oh my god, we have them cornered.
One order, please. Order an examination of his personal effects immediately.
Well, Inspector?
Oh no, he's eating fish and chips. That's for him, that's like Popeye. That's like Popeye the Sailor Man for this boy.
This young lad wants to tone down his imagination, insulted me in my profession quite enough. However, if it'll pull this man to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search.
I think... Okay. I don't think he has it on him. I think he wouldn't agree. Yeah, he doesn't have it on him. I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. The trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded. Believe it or not, I'm fit for court cases, even though I never even give evidence, ever. Well, that was a weird line they added at the end there. That sounds serious.
Indeed, to have a visiting student make such a defamatory remark about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
I guess I can't become a lawyer. Don't check my Twitter.
You're just treading room because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must prepare for grave consequences. It's true, I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, counsel, you know the implications, so let me ask this one final time.
Yes, my lord.
Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects?
Right. I think, as I said, someone else has it. There's no way he would be this calm. The defense formally demands a search be conducted.
Well,
don't say you weren't warned, but your typical Nibbley stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good.
fair enough.
Wait, did I pick the wrong one? I picked the second one, no?
Very well, then. Bailiff.
No. Yeah. The defense demands in search, but not of Inspector Gregson.
Now what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me.
No, Inspector, not you. Somebody else.
What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost it at last, have you, sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational. Be quiet, all of you.
Oh wait, that wasn't the judge? Iris?
Bruno's doing what you all told him to do, having the courage of his convictions. So you respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way. Huh? You sure?
Well said, young lady.
I love you trying to make up culture for yourselves.
The British way is listening to people. The British way is listening to people.
Now don't be hasty, my lord.
If I'm not mistaken about these things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know was the disc at the moment. There's only one person can be. I think it's Nash because he was freaking like nearly killing him at one point. Yeah, he was like dragging out of him at one point, literally destroying him. Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Eh? Blimey. Me? Him? Very well done, bailiff. Restrain the witness and conduct your thorough search of his personal effects. Please, my lord. Inspector. Scotland Yard has to object to the search.
Unfortunate for you, Inspector. Your objections carry no weight here. In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object.
But Lord Van Ziegs...
I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the court of this trial.
It makes perfect sense at this point that it was Nash Skulkin. Carry out the search. Oh no, he had, yeah, because again, he was dragging out of him. And like you were talking about the gun or whatever, but I think it was definitely nothing about no disc. He gave it to him. Jesus, Gregson is cut it out. Oh my god, yeah, Gregson's been letting me down, man. Let me down something fierce here today.
Here, my lord. In the witness's pocket. I found this.
Another music box disc.
Oh boy.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Very disappointed. Very disappointed. That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus McGilded. It is not Inspector. Is it not Inspector Gregson?
Oh! Oh! Order, Mr. Skulkin. What have you to say for yourself? Gordon Bennett. Just Gordon Flaming Bennett. I swear I didn't know nothing about the disc. Honest to God. Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal was struck between this witness and this detective, no?
Without question, my lord. Then, for pity's sake.
Why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information?
Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment.
I don't recall. What unusual behavior?
It was, yes, during my cross-examination, Mr. Graydon. When you left the pawnbroker that night, was there any chance that the second disc in your jacket pocket? I admit to nothing of the sort. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was talking about. While Mr. Graydon answered my questions, the inspector had appeared to grab Nash Skulkin by the coat and was shaking him violently. Oh dear, man. Oh my god.
Thought it was me, my noggin was about to fall clean off, I did. I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was.
And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that?
I ain't got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me, a whistle like that, and started shaking me. What the blazes didn't you mention the third gun when we got down to the station? That's what he said. Yelled right down my ear, yo did. My head's still throbbing now.
The way the detective behaved when it was extremely out of character. But looking back now, it must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc.
Well, bless my wig, he hid it. But I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is the court of law. He could have submitted it as he didn't want to submit it as evidence. He wanted to use it for his other trial, his other case. It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that. Wherefore not? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. My orders were, recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush. Hush-hush? A top secret assignment, is it?
As far as we're aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if the information were to be revealed in the court evidence, it would appear to be problematic. Does this sum up the situation, Inspector?
I'm operating under direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question.
So there was a chance he may be searched here in court. You took steps to hide the disc that you acquired from the witness. Does this mean he only pretended to attack Mr. Skulk in order to get close enough to him?
Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Graydon, are you prepared to admit the accusation made against you of all this alleged deal?
Admit to it. Yours truly, please. Mr. Graydon, clearly out of our Eastern visitors are uncommonly active imagination. Are you still doing this? However, there's no proof that I passed the disc to the inspector. But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the people? I'm under no obligation to explain. In any other Ace Attorney case, this guy would be thrown in prison by now. Yes, I lied in my testimony, that I admit, so sentence me accordingly. But that's all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with the detective, all of this is young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of this is about. You... What? Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon? To acquire the disc? Be a good boy here, Gregson.
Ladies and gents of the jury, as a Scotland Yard Inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I'm acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I've done, it's best in the name of justice.
You are not, though. You are not, though. And by the way, anyone who comes at me in the comments about this, I don't respect that country, loyalty bullshit. I don't care. I don't care. Unless it's Ireland. Ireland, Ireland, together standing tall, shoulder to shoulder, we'll answer Ireland's call. Sina fina fall, taving now again. Okay. I think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions.
This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuous in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for the final leadings. Well now, as a fellow servant of the Queen and country, I must sympathize with the old inspector. I love a good liar.
Yes, I am someone who has been destroyed by the Queen's rule. The fact that there are still people who can be hired like me and have jobs that are basically treated like lowly servants. Yeah. Even crossing your eyes and help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me. No, it's not.
Well, it's a Philip.
Go home. Get out of here. I don't want to listen to you. You too. Please, move on. Very much trusted. More than this I cannot say. I don't believe it. The six jurors they're going to believe Gregson. If they declare a decision now, is Ginny going to be found guilty? Yes. If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windybank or stole government secrets. What? Or some evidence to Wait, we have the 2 discs now, right? Can we not put the 2 discs in the thing?
Like, is that not what this is something we've been wanting to do from the start. Why is no one recommending this? Like, I only thought of it now. Why aren't we recommending this?
Well then, counsel. I think it's time I'm posed on the jurors to declare their final decisions, no? That is unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court.
If I let the judge call on the jurors to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty. So there's no choice then, Runo. You have to throw some more evidence at them. This is it now. It all comes down to this. Who do I present the evidence against? Gregson or Graydon? I'm going with Gregson, because I believe that he's easier to crack than Graydon. I think Graydon has not cracked once. I think Gregson is like again, he's reacted more, he's been more suspicious. Even though Graydon is suspicious, I think Graydon has kept his cool way too much. There's one final piece of evidence I would like you to see.
What's that then?
If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, then you leave us no choice but to examine this final piece of evidence thoroughly.
Well then, go on.
This is my last chance. It looks like we're going to have to force his hand here. Okay, very simple. One final piece of evidence. The music box. There it is. That's all we have left. That's literally all we have left. We want both discs to be played in this. That's what we want. We don't want no silly stuff happening. Okay?
Take that!
Is that Mr. McGill's peculiar music box, counsel?
With a disc already in place ready to play, I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time, with the second disc we just discovered set in place as well. And that is a perfect place to end what I think is probably going to be the second last episode of the series. I know this is a very, very awful cliffhanger, but I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye. It's not fair to end it here. We're gonna do a bit more. I even feel bad as I went to stop the recording. I was just checking if I did stop the recording now.
Goodness, this counsel. No, wait! I can't let you do that.
Why not?
Because, because it's got nothing to do with this case. That's why.
Not true, Inspector. The defense has already proposed that the sound heard by the court area from this music box were part of a Morse code message. We know the Morse code comprised of two distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message, and now we have a chance to confirm that theory.
For crying out loud, sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. If you don't let no court me of confidential information like that, that's treason.
Then do you admit the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets you engage in unlawful dealings with the witness?
You're mad. If you let that secret information out into the public domain, You're making an enemy of the British government, you idiot!
I don't care. I already have a million times. Check my Twitter.
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie in the court, and all because by fair means or foul you determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine.
Don't you dare.
I will stop at nothing to protect my client.
I don't care who I make an enemy of.
My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box.
Come on, Van Zakes, for Pete's sake, stop him.
I think he's gonna agree with me. Good man. Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet.
Yes, Van Zakes.
Oh. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law, so let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth. By fair means or foul.
No! Very well, the defense stands here and that of the prosecution have been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen as this music box is set in operation once more.
Oh my god, look at the angle this time with the second disc in place and both discs playing simultaneously. Oh my god. Oh, listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code. Is that juror number 5 saying that?
All right, I'll admit it. Whatever you want, but for the love of God, shut that blooming box up.
We're playing on his love for his country. That's good. That's good. Thank God they beat nationalism into British people back then. And even now still. They'd still do that. That's like a big thing even now. Like the royal family is very much all about like, you know, you serve your country and your motherland. And it's like, it's just a way to kind of like blind people sometimes from like, and it happens in every case, not just England. Like it's a very, very easy way of making people do what you want, is to give them like hope that like their and love for their nation. I have love for Ireland as well. I have love for all the history. I love for the people that fought for Ireland. But like if it comes down to Ireland or like, you know, my family or someone being killed, I'm going to choose, you know, defending that soul and that life. You know what I mean? Always. Did you or did you not strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon?
Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the peephole in the pawnbroker storeroom, Inspector?
And this is where we will end this episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you all very, very soon. I'm very excited because this seems like we're getting extremely close to the end.